Hi, welcome to my kitchen. This is sort of a two-part series or a combination. I think it's a combination. So the video that may or may not be already posted is I'm canning and making bread and butter pickles. And they're in the refrigerator for 3 to 4 hours. In the meantime, since I'm having all my canning stuff out here, I decided I'm going to make raspberry jam. So throughout the summer, been picking the raspberries. Their season is only like 2 weeks, so you have to pick a lot. And what I did was freeze all of them. So now I have bags of raspberries. This is 4 pounds. Probably another 4 pounds here. So making the jam, this is going to be just 2 ingredients. So what I'm going to do is keep it simple. Sugar and raspberries. 4 cups of raspberries, 4 cups of sugar, and boil it. Once it reaches a certain temperature, based on your altitude, turn it off, skim off the foam, and start loading it up to your cans. So what I'm going to do is I have half pints. These are little half pint jars. This is what I'm going to put the jam in. And if you've already seen, I have my pot right here ready to go. What I'm going to do is go ahead and turn that on after I put all the cans in there. So I'll show you how I do that. I'll be able to see a little better what I'm doing. Alright, so the water's not hot right now. This is cold water. So inside here, I can just do that. I had to take the dial off. Oops. I have to be careful with this. Alright, so we're going to go to 6. Pull that off of there. Push this back. Alright, so processing is how long you boil the fruit for. And in this case, it's going to be under 10 minutes. Anything under 10 minutes needs to be sterilized. So what I'm going to do is bring this up to a boil. And so 4 cups of berries and 4 cups of sugar is going to give me 6 or 7 half pints. I'm going to go ahead and prep for 12 and double the recipe. And I think I have more than 8 cups. I have another bag in the refrigerator that's not quite thawed out yet. That's good. And I'm just going to drop that in there now. Alright, I'll come back over here. So I have a food mill. This is new. I bought it. I rinsed it off in warm water. So it's basically a bowl with some feet on it. You open those up there. You grab the bowl that you want to use. Okay, so it has has rubber feet so it won't bounce around. I like using this one because it has measurements on the side from 1 quart all the way up to 5 quarts. Okay. So let me just show you how this one works here. There's just three little loops there. 1, 2, 3. Those go in there like that. Upside like that. A little screw goes on there. Okay. Then you have the bar here that it just locks into. Alright, so raspberries stain, so you gotta be careful. I'm just wearing a t-shirt, so I don't care if that gets all whatever. So I'm looking for 4 cups of raspberries. Alright, so that's roughly a little over 2 cups. So what I'm doing is gonna see how this works. Doesn't seem to be coming through. Oh, there it is. I think the seeds are keeping it from going through. I was going to try and do seedless. Doesn't seem like the spring has enough pressure to push it through. I'm not very impressed with this one. It's like there's not enough pressure to push it through. I'm getting a lot of pulp. Alright, so I'll keep doing this. Alright, so after further review, this thing does work good. I was just a little impatient, but we have 8 cups. Basically, just about not getting anything more out of the bottom. So what you're looking at is all seeds and just nothing left really. So I mean, I could keep going, but it's just now it's down a waste of time. This is what I got out of that. It's pretty thick, so we'll go ahead and pour it in. So I'm not calling this seedless because there are some seeds in here, but as you can see, a lot of it's in there. So this is a real thick. I mean, I'm going to take most of this. There's a lot of goodness in there, so it just takes forever to get all these seeds out, but I'll go with that. I mean, that's all your flavor right there. It's gonna have a little seed, but not as much. So that's about it. All right, we get one more cup. Alright, so I just dumped that into the pot there, and we still have the cans. There's just starting to come to a boil. Alright, so show you the consistency of this. Pretty thin. But now we're going to add the heat and then sugar. I had to take my shirt off because it was like getting really hot in here. So sorry about that. Alright, I'm going to measure out the sugar and we'll be good. Alright, this is just starting to get warm, so I'm going to start adding the sugar. put it all in there. 8 cups of sugar to 8 cups of pulp. Whatever you get out of the food processor. So I'm going to keep stirring constantly. This is on medium, just because I don't want it to get away from me or burn. We're pretty much going to bring that up to 220 degrees. A good boil. That's how we'll know it's done. Got some seeds. Then it's going to have seeds, but these are like, if the seeds are floating, they're really light. I think it'll be good. So we're still waiting for this to come to a rolling boil. It's a lot of water in there. Well, just got to be patient, and we really got to have this ready before that anyway, so we give it a few more minutes. Alright, so it came to a boil, and I continued to stir that all up, and got to more and more of a rapid boil. There's 2 tests I can do with just the sugar and raspberry. Is a plate test is where you take some out and you put it on a cold plate, put some on the cold plate, and you put the plate in the freezer for 3, 4, 5 minutes. And another way is just the temperature itself, 220. So it came up to 215 for a long time, and then it finally hit 220, but it was still like really watery, and without the pectin it's not gonna hard up as fast. But then I took the plate out of the freezer, and sure enough it had gelled up really good, and it was like I put jam right on the plate, and it tasted really good. So then I went and poured them in, took the cans out of here, put them on table with a towel on it, and then I used this, and I used a coffee cup, and I just dunked it in and poured it out with like a little plate here to catch anything that spills, and I just, as quick as I could, filled them up to about here, so when you take it off there's a 1/4 inch headspace from the top to the top of where the lid would be. Then I went ahead and put the lids on, screwed on the covers finger tight, put them back in here, covered it up, and turned the heat on. So now I'm going to wait for this to come to a rolling boil for 5 minutes, and then shut her down. Take the cover off, let it cool down. I'll take them out, put them on the towel, cover them, and at that point I'll see where I'm at when the cucumbers. So I'm going to go ahead and switch over to the cucumbers, or the bread and butter pickles. My shoulders and arms are killing me from stirring and running that food mill, though, I tell you that much. I'm about ready to take a break. Alright, it's been 10 minutes. So put these on. Pull that cover off. Alright, so we gotta wait 5 minutes before we remove those so they can adjust. Pull them off that other burner as well. Alright, so pretty much all I'm going to do is just drop them in the box here. Alright, that's my 10 minutes. Yeah, so now I'm just gonna cover this up and bring it over to the table and let it sit there for a while. And I'll come back